Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Task World. So today we are going to learn chapter 1 of grade 6 mathematics, which is knowing your numbers. So this is module 2 video. If you didn't watch the first module video, the video link is given in the description below. You can go and watch it. So let's begin the show without any further delays. So in previous video we learned comparing numbers, forming numbers using digits, large numbers and systems of numeration. And in this video we are going to learn large numbers in real life, estimation, brackets for solving and Roman numerals. So let's begin with large numbers in real life. So we often come across weight, length, height, distance and capacity in daily life. So what is the common thing here? We are using numbers. In all these things we are using numbers. So to measure weight, like with measuring fruits and vegetables, yeah, we are using numbers. And to measure the length, for example, measuring a pencil with a scale, yeah, there also we are using numbers, and to measure the distance also we are using numbers, and to measure our height also we are using numbers, and to measure the capacity of a bottle of water, a bucket of water, etc. There also we are using numbers. So like this, numbers is used in our daily life. So based on the type of measurement, we use different units. So the units are kilogram, gram, milligram, kilometer, meter, centimeter, millimeter, liter and milliliter. And 1 kilogram is equal to 1000 grams and 1 gram is equal to 1000 milligrams and 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meter and 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter and 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeter and 1 liter is equal to 1000 milliliter. So, a basket of apples is measured in kilograms. To measure a basket of apples or a basket of oranges or measuring fruits and vegetables, where we will use kilograms. And to calculate the distance between two cities or two homes or two places, yeah, we are using kilometer. We can use kilometer to measure between two places or two cities or two countries. We will use kilometers. And to measure the capacity of a bucket of water, we use liter. Or a bucket of oil, there also we will use liter. So like this, we use different units to measure some things. So now let's begin with estimation. So there are some steps to estimate. And first of all, estimate means approximate value, not the actual value, but approximate value. For example, if I say the number is 32, you will say approximately 30. Yeah, you will say approximately 30, right? But you will not say approximately 40, right? Why? Because 32 to 40, it's 8 numbers, but on 32 to 30, it is only 2 numbers. So the nearest thing here we can see is 30, right? So we make it approximately to 30, right? So this is known as estimate, not the actual value, but approximate value. So let's take an example and follow some steps. There are some steps to estimate and follow the steps to estimate that number. So the example will be 8753. So the first step to estimate is To estimate, first you should circle the digit which you want to estimate. First, we should circle the digit which we want to estimate. So, we should check the place value. It means we should check the place value. Should we estimate to nearest 100, 1000? We should check that first. So here, let's take a random place value. So let's take 100. So now I'm circling 7. Why? Because here 7 is in 100's place value because we want to estimate to nearest 100 and 7 here is in 100's place value. So only we will circle 7. And the next step is circle the next digit of the number which you want to estimate. So now the number which we want to estimate is 7. Okay. And we should circle the next digit of that number which you want to estimate. So here the next digit of 7 is 5. And now the third step which we want to do is check if the circled digit is in the first group or second group. So they mean that we should check that second circled digit. So the second circled digit here is 5. So we should check if the second circled digit is in the first group or second group. So here we should check is 5 in the first group or second group. So in the first group we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and in the second group we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So as you all can see, 5 is in the second group. Hence, so if it's in the first group, the circle number remains same and make all the digits in left to 0. And if it's in the second group, we should add 1 to the circle number and make all the digits make all the digits in left to 0. So here we check that 5 is in the second group. And if it's in the second group, the second circle digit, we should add 1 to the first circle digit. So the first circle digit here is 7. And we should add 1 to 7 because 5 was in the second group. If it was in the first group, we will not do any changes. We should just make 5 and 3 to 0. But here you can see that 5 is in the second group. So we should add 1 to 7. So 7 plus 1 is 8. So here 8 will be as it is because it's in the right side. So right side numbers, we are not doing any changes. So here 8 is in the right side and 3 is in the left side, so only we'll make it 0. But 8 here is in the right side, so we will leave it as it is. And 7 will become 8 because we added 1, right? And 5 and 3, as you all know, will become 0. So the estimated number will be 8,800. So this is just an approximate answer to nearest 100. So this is not the actual answer but approximate. As I told, estimate means approximate but not the actual answer. So like this, we estimate numbers. So here we have estimate sum. So sum means, you all know, right? When it's estimate refers to approximate and sum refers to add. Sum refers to add, right? So estimate sum means, so what they will give us, they will give two numbers or more numbers and they will say we should estimate the following using general rule. They will say like that. So what we should do at that time is, first we should estimate the numbers. Whatever numbers are there, we should just estimate them and then we should add them. So to estimate sum, first we should estimate the numbers as I told and then we should add the numbers and the answer is the estimated sum. So let's see a small example. So we have 12,904 plus 2,888. So first thing, we should estimate, right? And before that, we should know to which place value we should estimate, right? So here we should take the highest place value. If they give the place value, we can estimate to that place value only. But if they don't give, we should take the highest place value. And here the highest place value is 10,000. So we should take 10,000 and we should estimate for both the numbers using 10,000 place value. But if I take 10,000, I can estimate only for the first number because it goes till 10,000. But 2,888, which is the second number, doesn't go till 10,000. Right? It only goes till thousands place value. So what we should do in that case is we should take the highest place value. Yeah, but we should take the highest and the equal place value too. So here I took 10,000 and 10,000 is not possible. So I should take the next highest place value, which is 1,000. Now I can estimate for both the numbers. So let's begin to estimate the first number, which is 12,904. So first we are estimating to nearest thousands, right? So we should circle 2 because it's in thousands place, and we should circle 9 because it's next to 2. And we should check if the second circle digit, which is 9, is in the first group or second group. So in the first group we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So in the first group we have 1, 2, 3 and 4. And in the second group we have 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So here we should check 9, right? So as you all can see, 9 is in the second group. Hence, you all know, right? If the number is in the second group, we should add 1 to the first circle digit. And the first circle digit here is 2. So 1 as it is because it's in the right side, right? So as it is. And 2 will become 3 because 9 is in the second group. And we should add 1 to the first circle digit, which is 2. So we should do 2 plus 1, which is 3. So 3 will be here, and then 904 will become 0. So there are 3 digits, right? So 3 zeros, 1, 2, 3. So 12,904 round off to nearest 1000 will give us 13,000. So now we estimated the first number, but now we should estimate the second number. So the second number is 2,888. So first we should circle 2 because 2 is in the thousands place. And we should circle 8 because 8 is next to 2. And now the second circle digit, we should check the second circle digit. And the second circle digit here is 8. So 8 here is in the second group. And if it's in the second group, we should add 1 to the first circle digit, which is 2. So 2 plus 1 is 3. So we don't have any right side digits. So we will leave it as it is. And 2 will become 3 because we added 1, right? So it will become 3. And 8,888 will become 0. So there are 3 8. So 3 zeros. As I told, the numbers which are in the left will become 0. Means the numbers which are next to the number which we want to estimate should become 0. So 2,888 round off to nearest 1000 will give us 3,000. So now we estimated both the numbers, and now, so first I said that to estimate sum, first we should estimate the numbers. Okay, we did it. And then we should add the numbers, and the answer is the estimated sum. So now we should add the numbers, and we should not add the numbers 12,904 and 2,888. Should not add those numbers. Should add the estimated numbers. Okay. So the estimated number, the first number is 13,000 and the second number is 3000. So we should add these two numbers. So 0 plus 0 is 0, 0, 0 again, and 3 plus 3 is 6, and 1 as it is. So the estimated answer will be 16,000. It will be 16,000. So this is just the approximate answer but not the actual answer because we estimated the numbers, right? So it's just the approximate answer but not the actual answer. So now let's begin with estimate product. So here estimate refers to approximate values and product refers to multiply. So to estimate product, what we should do is, it's the same steps, again same steps. So just the operation will be changed, that's it. So first we should estimate the numbers, again we should estimate the numbers, and the only thing changed is the operation. Before we were doing addition because it was estimated sum. Now we should do multiplication. So to estimate product, first we should estimate the numbers and then we should multiply the numbers and the answer is the estimated product. So let's see an example. So we have 578 into 161. So now we should check the place value, right? So the highest place value you can see is 100. And now if I take 100, I can estimate for both the numbers. So let's estimate the nearest 100. So the first number we have is 578. And I should circle 5 here because 5 here is in the hundreds place value. And I should circle 7 because it's next to 5. And we should check if 7 is in the first group or second group. So in the first group, we have 1, 2, 3 and 4. And in the second group, we have 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So you can see 7 is in the second group. So if it's in second group, we should add 1 to the first circle digit which is 5. So 5 plus 1 is 6 and we don't have any right side digits. So and 7 and 8 will become 0. So it will be 600. So 578 round off to nearest 100 will give us 600. So first we estimated the first number. Now we should estimate the second number which is 161. So here we should circle 1 because it's in hundreds place and circle 6 because it's next to 1. And now we should check if is 6 in the first group or second group. So you can see 6 is in the second group. So if it's in the second group, we should add 1 to the first circle digit which is 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. So it will be 2 here and we don't have any right side digits. So we can leave it as it is. And 6 and 1 will become 0. So it will be 200. So 161 round off to nearest 100 will give us 200. Now it's very simple multiplication, right? So if you multiply 578 into 161, it will take a lot of time. And now we estimated the numbers, right? And there are many zeros. So we can multiply easily. So we have 600 multiplied by 200. So first we have 4 zeros, 2 here, 2 here. So we have 4 zeros, okay. And we only have 6 and 2 now. So 6 multiplied by 2 will give us 12. So 12 will come here and we will add all the 4 zeros next to 12. So the estimated answer, the estimated product will be 1,20,000. So like this we estimate sum and product. So sum means addition and product means multiplication. So now let's learn estimate difference. So now if we talk about estimate, estimate refers to approximate value, right? As you all know. And difference refers to subtract. So difference refers to subtract. So sum refers to addition, product refers to multiplication, and difference refers to subtract. To estimate difference, first we should estimate the numbers and then we should subtract the numbers and the answer is the estimated difference. So in all the three estimate sum, estimate product, estimate difference, the first step is always same. The first thing is we should always estimate the numbers and then we should use the operation. If it's difference, we should do subtract. If it's sum, we should do addition. If it's product, we should do multiplication. Hence here difference is there. So we should subtract the numbers. First we should estimate the numbers and then we should subtract the numbers. So let's see a small example and understand it better. So we have 8325 minus 491. Now we should see the place value, right? So the highest place value here is 1000. So let's take 1000. But if I take 1000, I can only estimate for the first number because it goes till 1000's place value. But I can't estimate for the second number because it doesn't go till thousands. It only goes till hundreds place value. So I can only estimate for the first number. So I can't take for first number I can't take 1000 and for the second number I can't take 100. I should take the equal place value only. So now what we should do is we should take the next place value. Why? Because if we take 100, it's the highest and equal also. It should be equal and the highest for both of them. So if I take 100, I can estimate for the first number and the second number too. So let's estimate the nearest 100. The first number is 8325. We should circle 3 because 3 is in hundreds place. And we should circle 2 because it's next to 3. And we should check the second circle digit which is 2. So we should check if 2 is in the first group or second group. So in the first group, we have 1, 2, 3 and 4. And in the second group, we have 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So as you all can see, 2 is in the first group. If it's in the first group, no changes. 8 will be as it is because it's in the right side. And 3 will also be as it is because 2 was in the first group. If it was in the second group, we would have added 1 to 3. But we can't add now because 2 was in the first group. So 3 will also be as it is, but 2 and 5 will become 0. So it will be 8300. So 8325 rounded off to nearest 100 will give us 8300. So the next number is 491. Now we should circle 4 because it's in the hundreds place value. And we should circle 9 because it's next to 4. So we should check 9, which is the second circle digit. So 9, as you all can see, is in the second group. So if it's in the second group, we should add 1 to the first circle digit, which is 4. So 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. So 5 will come here and 9 and 1 will become 0. So our answer will be 500. So 491 rounded off to nearest 100 will give us 500. So now we should do subtract because it's difference. So it's very easy now to subtract because we have 3 zeros, right? So we have 4 zeros. So we can easily write zeros like that only. So if there are more zeros, we can subtract, multiply and add easily. So it will be easy for us now to subtract. So 8300 minus 500. So it will give us 0, 0. And 3 minus 5 is not possible. So we should make 8 as 7 and 3 as 13. And 13 minus 5 is 8 and 7 will come as it is. So our answer will be 7800. See, very easy, right? Now we have 4 zeros. So it will be very easy for us to subtract also. Right. And let me tell you that 7800 is not the actual value, but the estimated value. So 7800 is not the actual value, but the estimated value. So this was estimate difference. So in all the steps, we should first estimate and we should check the operation and do that. So now let's begin with brackets for solving. So we have a BODMAS rule. So when divide comes, multiply comes, add, subtract, brackets comes, we use a rule called BODMAS. So here this is just the short form. This BODMAS is just a short form. But if we want to check what it represents, see here, B stands for brackets, O stands for order, and D stands for divide, M stands for multiply, and A stands for add, and S stands for subtract. So this order, as you all can see, this you will be learning in higher grades. So you can see this is the thing which BODMAS represents. Now there are different types of brackets. Now we should learn the types of brackets and let's see a small example how to solve the brackets. So first learn what are the types of brackets. So the types of brackets are, first bracket is square bracket. So you can see this bracket is like a square, right? So it's known as a square bracket. And this is known as a curly bracket. And the red bracket, as you all can see, is the round bracket. It's known as a round or a simple bracket. We can say it as a round bracket or a simple bracket. And the last bracket is called as a bar bracket. So the last bracket is called as a bar bracket. So these are the types of brackets. So now let's see the order of them. So bar bracket comes in the first. So first we should solve the bar bracket. And then we should solve the round bracket. And then we should solve the curly bracket. And then we should solve the square bracket. So this is the order. Now let's see a small example and see how to solve the brackets. So the example will be so this is the example. Now there are different types of brackets and it's a bit confusing, right? Now even if we know the order and the types of brackets, it still seems confusing, right? So now what we should do to reduce the confusing is, see, now if I solve this bar bracket, I should remove that bracket and simplify it. And if I solve the round bracket, I should solve it and simplify it. And when I keep on simplifying, it will be easy for me. So let's see how to solve and then you can understand it. So we can simplify it like this. So what is 6 divided by 3? 2, right? Now let's simplify it. So 8 plus 7 plus 5 into, now as we simplified 6 divided by 3 to 2, we should write it like this. So did I write a bar bracket upon the 2? Right. I didn't write, right? So I only wrote 2 and that too I wrote it inside the round bracket. So I'm simplifying it. If we keep on solving the brackets, we should simplify it. So like this we can simplify. Now let's simplify it more and keep on solving it. So again, it will be same. Now, if we see 5 into 2, 5 into 2 is equal to 10. So we should write 10 here. And again we should simplify it. So the next bracket we should solve is the curly bracket. So what is still in the curly bracket? 7 plus 10. So 7 plus 10, as you all know, is 17. So again let's simplify it. So 8 plus 17, not 7 plus 10, because we simplified, right? Now you can see a big problem has come into very small problem, which is 17 plus 8. Now it's very easy, right? We should just add. So 17 plus 8 is equal to, now 7 plus 8 is 15. So 1 here and 5 down. 8 plus 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. So we will get our answer as 25. So our answer for this problem is 25. So like this, as we keep on solving, we should remove the brackets also. So those are the types of brackets. Now let's begin with Roman numerals. So how to represent Roman numerals? Now the numbers 1 to 10 are represented as the following. So 1 is represented as 1i, 2 is represented as II, 3 is represented as III, and 4 is represented as I and a V, and so on. So like this we represent Roman numerals. So the other big Roman numerals are 50, 100, 500, 1000. Right? These are some big numbers. So 50 is represented as L, 100 is represented as C, 500 is represented as D and 1000 is represented as M. So like this, we represent Roman numerals. So there are some rules to represent Roman numerals. You can represent Roman numerals however we wish, right? So there are some specific rules. And when we follow the rules, we can represent Roman numerals very easily. Now, the rules to represent Roman numerals are, so let's start the first rule. So the first rule is, if a smaller value is written to the right of a symbol of greater value, its value gets added to the value of greater symbol. So now, so they are saying if a smaller value, the smaller value will be written to the right and the greater value will be written to the left. So let's take two numbers. So 5 is represented as a V and 1 is represented as a I. So now let's write it. So the greater value will be on the left, okay, 5, and 1 will be on the right, okay. So what is this number? It's 6. So why should we write 6 like this only? Why can't we write 6 as I? Why can't we write like this? See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, a 6 is there, right? Then why can't we write I as like this, right? Why are we only writing V and I? So as I told, there are some rules. So now let's see, why are we writing 6 like this and not I. So they are saying that if the greater value is written to the left of smaller value, its value gets added. So this means that this represents 5 plus 1. So your left I is written to the left of V, which is the smaller value. So it represents 5 plus 1, which is 6. So that is why we write 6 like this and not I. Right? So like this was the first rule. Now let's move on to the second rule. So the second rule says if a smaller value is written to the left of a symbol of greater value, its value gets subtracted to the value of greater symbol. So now here in this number we wrote the smaller value to the right. Now the smaller value here is written to the left. So if it's written to the right, its value gets added. Then if it's written to the left, its value gets subtracted. So in left, the value gets subtracted. And when we write the smaller value on the right, its value gets added. Now, let's see the example. So 4 is written as I and a V, right? So why can't we write 4 like 1, I. Why can't we write 4 like this? So the second rule says why can't we write 4 like this and only write 4 like this. So now as I told, if the smaller value is written to the left, its value gets subtracted. Means here the value is getting subtracted. So this 4 is representing 5 minus 1, which is equal to 4. So this is why we write 4 like I and a V. So as I told, the value is getting subtracted, 5 minus 1. So only we write 4 like this in Roman numerals. So this was the second rule. So the third rule is a symbol is not repeated more than 3 times, but the symbol V, L and D are never repeated So let's understand this. So let's see the first sentence. What does it say? A symbol is not repeated more than 3 times. So the example for this can be I, only I. So what does I represent? 1, I, 2, I, 3. But 4 is not written as I. No, right? 4 is not written like that. 4 is written like this, right? So this can be the example for I, for the first sentence. So I is repeated 1 time. Okay. 2 is 2 times it's repeated. Okay. 3 times is also repeated. Okay. But 4 times it's not repeated. So the maximum number of times I is repeated is only 3 times, right? So this is the meaning of the first sentence. Now the second sentence is saying that, but the symbol V, L and D are never repeated. So V, L and D are never repeated, not even 2 times, only 1 time. It cannot be more than 1 time also. So why? Let's see. Now if I write V and V, so what is 5 plus 5? 10. And we already have a symbol for 10, which is X. Okay. Now let's see L. L and L. So what does L represent? 50. 50 plus 50 is 100. So we already have a symbol for 100, which is C. Again, if we talk about 500, which is D, it represents M, because we already have a symbol for 1000, right? So like this is the reason for which V, L and D are never repeated. Now this was the third rule. Now let's move on to the fourth rule. So the fourth rule is V, L and D are never subtracted. Now we saw that I was subtracted from V, right? I is getting subtracted and it is also getting subtracted from X. But if we talk about V, yeah, V cannot be subtracted from I. Now if we write like this, it means I is getting added for V. But it doesn't mean that V is getting subtracted from I, right? So you can see V is not getting subtracted from I. So in the same way, L and D are also never subtracted. So this is the reason V, L and D are never subtracted. So this was the fourth rule. Now let's move on to the fifth rule. So the fifth rule is the symbol I can be subtracted from V and X only. So as I told, so the symbol I can be subtracted from V and it can be subtracted from X. So 4 and 9, it can be subtracted in X and V. Right, so I can only be subtracted from V and X, not from C, M, L, right? It can be only subtracted from V and X. So now let's see the second sentence. The symbol X can be subtracted from L, M and C only. So now we talked about I, but the symbol X can only be subtracted from L, M and C. So let's see how. So if I write a X and a L, it represents 40. How? Because L means 50 and X means 10. So 50 minus 10, which is equal to 40. So this is the reason 40 is written like this, right? Now let's see for M. X and M. So what is X? 10. So what is M? 1000. Okay. And what is X? It is 10. So what is 1000 minus 10? Let's see. So 0 and 0 minus 1 is not possible. So this will become 0 and 10, 9, and this will become 10. So 10 minus 1 is 9, and 9 minus 0 is 9. So it will give us 990. So you can see x is subtracted from 1000 also. So now let's see C. So x and a C. So C represents 100 and x represents 10. So 100 minus 10 is 90. Right. So this is equal to 90. So this is the reason 90 is written like this. So you can see in each case x is subtracted from L, M and C. Right. So this was the rule 5 and this is the last rule of this Roman numerals. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching this video.